Why can someone go from a Toronto chef to a Kensington Palace prince by squeezing a single tear from a lefty sprawled on the floor? Cry? If you don't tell the world now that I'm your girlfriend, I'll leave you, and that's what you did. So, despite his fears and the hatred of the media, Harry chose the publicity route. He figured it was better than being dumped by that cannibal. More and more people around the world are becoming convinced that Meghan did organize her own online harassment campaign to pressure Harry to give in to her engagement plans. So here is how the plan went on April 25 of 2015. Meghan think of Soho House in Istanbul. Meghan admitted that she did her homework and scoured Harry's Instagram feed and Vanity Fair. Meghan, when she was supposedly 35 years old, said that she met 32-year-old Harry in 2016 and that they were secretly dating for about 6 months. So it would be around the 16th of April, and that was after their conversation on Instagram. And then on October 28, 2016, the news of the secret relationship of these two people appeared, and the next day they both celebrated publicly. It would be October 29, 2016. She and Harry went to a Halloween apocalypse-themed party in Toronto's Soho with Eugene and Jack, a mysterious man. Someone leaked some information and some photos to the media. It was a very narrow window through which Harry could operate and organize, but just a week later he made a public statement that was supposed to be released on the 8th, 20th and 16th of November. He issued a statement about Meghan and her new American and the media. The same goes for Invasion, using his press release from Kensington Palace where he complained about nightly court battles to keep the media out. Quote, "It's not about the relationship with him for a few months, it's really only a few months." Then, on Wednesday, November 2nd, the front page of the British Sun newspaper hit the headlines. A buxom photo of Meghan in a red dress, with or without a plunging neckline, which bears the name Princess. This is not racism. They just show sexy pictures. So from October 28 to November 7, not even a week. How did this media blitz go without prior help? It reminds me of Meghan rolling down the window of her limousine to wave to Her Majesty on her birthday. Oh, look what I did in the media. Then on December 26 they publicly bought a Christmas tree together at Pines and Needle in London, and a few days later they went to a West End show. Meg Invictus played with her best friend Marcus Anderson, then joined Harry in wheelchair tennis on September 25, 2017 and happily greeted the media. Now, like magic, engagement dates have been announced on November 27th, 20th and 17th. It was also announced that the Windsor wedding would take place 6 months later on May 19th, 2018. So the first thing Meghan had to figure out was how long it would take after she got her first bite until she caught a big fish. And how to speed up the process. He was good at managing himself. Just think of the TIG fan. He created his own separate Shark Tank of anti-Meghan trolls. Now they've helped him implement a plan to make young Harry very upset every time he reads criticism of his American movie star girlfriend. Oh, poor Harry, he's really struggling. We also know that even today, the Artwell Foundation continues to contribute to these online communities, and they hope to bring more accolades, tributes, and awards to both of them. Meanwhile, even though they're 20 and 23, and the world has had enough of the two of them, we just want to know when one eats the other and who stays. In a nutshell, that's how this story is told. Once upon a time in America there was a little girl like other little girls in America. She wanted to marry the prince one day, but instead of learning the waltz, she wrote a book for the princess in her head. How to be kind to others, be polite, show good manners and most importantly, how to be thankful for your lot in life. He thought he was superior. She was a princess, after all, there is no need for her to bow her head to others. She knows more about etiquette than the royal family. Even though she is an American actress, she manipulates her way into families and welcomes them into theirs with open arms. He got a great marriage and all that, gratitude wasn't enough for this little girl. She is vicious. She wants more and more, so she throws a tantrum at the staff and pours hot tea. She was so rude because she was taught in Hollywood that it was something she had to do to get her way. In fact, She must do whatever it takes to get her way, and our princess should not act like this. In fact, she was still extremely jealous of the real princesses and thought she should be better than them. When her little fits won't let her get what she wants, she decides to cast a shadow that she thinks will be her deadly weapon. She went to Oprah's all-witch and she pleaded with him like her mother-in-law, but she wasn't vulnerable like the ones people really loved. Instead, she looked sharp as the villainous stepmother. He decided to spill all the tea on the royal family, and after a few weeks of work he got angry and said, "I really should work." Considering the budget for wardrobe and house and everything she needed for free, except for love and adoration, it was more than enough to pay. She moved to the land of Nod and took her husband, the prince, with her, saying that she would make them both rich from their wild dreams. But of course the only way to do this was to try and destroy the very people who made them rich and famous. Royal family, therefore, all the people and countries of the world hated them. He wanted to go to the king's coronation, but only if he had his way. Well, the villagers have their tomatoes and rotten eggs in their hands and we're just waiting for them. Will he continue to destroy other people to get his way? Or will he be banished forever and lose his titles? The rest is still to come, you'll just have to stay tuned to see how it plays out. Well, I hope you enjoy this tale, but anyway, to another theory. So I have a little theory about these invisible children. Think they know they can't take friends, kids, or anyone outside the US without a valid passport. So they made a series of ridiculous demands to pay tribute to Archie to not bring him or a daughter and make Meghan look like a good mother. Well, she thought that would make her a good mother. I don't think so, but she still wanted to convince everyone that she should stay home to celebrate all the friends and kids who won't be there. Probably not even the godfather. Harry was playing polo last year on his son's birthday, so I guess he can just be the missing father again, and you know Meghan's going to try to stage some beautiful birthday party. Without important guests, we'll see a photo of happy children chasing balloons, or maybe some circus clowns, perhaps a fake vegan cake table with the handsome doppelganger boy and whoever they decide to use to play the part of the busy bed with her back to the camera watching with imagined glee. Obviously they're never going to be able to prod well children who they have been claiming are theirs. Recently the information was published that that little girl, whose photo Meghan has consistently been using as Lily Bed, is actually a little girl named Hartford Trader. Apparently that little girl's mother is an actress and model named Stassi Schroeder. Her husband's name is Beau. There is a photo. In fact, this is the first and only photo. I see Meghan hugging Hartford, and it's a picture where you can see her standing next to Meghan and Hartford, but they only show it once at a time. I've seen this photo since then. Stassi was cut from Meghan's side, but you can still see it if you look closely, and then this photo. They always show of Hartford sitting in the grass, and it seems to have been taken at or around the same time as a photo of Meghan Hartford and stay together, and I have seen so many other posts, maybe professional photos of Stassi and Hartford together, and Hartford is a younger but dead ringer for her mother. Now the Stassi and Hartford together made me think that maybe is making a portfolio for Hartford and herself to do some type of mother-daughter modeling work, and as for the little boy whom they are using as the ever-changing mysterious artificial, he apparently is the son of Brian Green and Adrian Milia, the owner of Milia Architect New Jersey. The cute little boy's name is Gavin. And as people have said, trying to travel overseas with rent-a-kids would be a documentation nightmare. How would they deal with the passports? I don't even know if it's possible to travel out of the country with a letter of consent with preschool kids. The mothers would basically have to travel with them as nannies. It is starting to be a real problem with kids who obviously are able to talk, if you ask me. Once the short-sighted malcontents started this game of pretending to have these kids, they had to leave the country because they did not consider the future far enough to understand that they'll eventually learn to talk, interacting with family, and accidentally tell the truth. They would have to go to school, and the teachers and the students and their parents were going to catch on eventually. Or they might have to attend family vacations or church or royal events on the balcony, and they have to act according to royal. They stayed. Children would have to remain children forever. The idiots had no choice but to leave the country as soon as possible and never come back with these children.